All right, YouTube. So I got a good one for you guys today. Today I'm making the Thouxanbanfauni Type Beat. I already made it, so I'm gonna show you guys kind of what I put together. So this is kind of leaning back towards like that 2017, 2015, 16, 17 era of sound that I was making. This is kind of how I used to make those beats. It's kind of hard to kind of go back in the past and try to re bubble up some old sauce. It's kind of hard to do that. I've tried doing it a couple times because I had a couple people request it, but it's hard to go back and make that actual style and make it sound perfectly how I was making it back then versus how I would make it now. So it sounds very similar to my old style of beats back then, with a little bit of a new twist. But I think this beat's pretty interesting. I ended up naming it Spark Plug. If you guys don't know, I really like cars. I'm into cars as well. So a lot of my names end up having spark plug or car names or like I don't know, just weird random stuff. I like anime stuff too, so sometimes it'll have a name like that. Something weird and trippy, something spacey. But so this is a beat that as soon as I got started on it, I wasn't really sure what to do or how I wanted to go about it. It actually went in one totally different direction. I'm actually gonna put the full start to finish beat of this to on Patreon. It's about an hour and a half. It's a long one because, like I said, I started off one direction and went completely different. But it's got a lot of good gems in there. I don't talk a whole lot on the beats when I'm making them up in the cook-ups. I think what I'm going to start beginning to do is rewatching them and critiquing that video as I'm watching myself make the beat, so I can kind of explain what I'm doing. Because lots of times I get in the zone, get focused, and then I end up not explaining as much as I would like to. Um, so like I said, this is a Thouxanbanfauni type beat. When I was making it, I didn't think it was going to turn out to be a Thouxanbanfauni type beat. It just kind of is who I could hear on it. So typically that's like my go-to. Like for whatever reason, like those Fawny type beats are my favorite ones. They're the easiest ones for me to make personally. They're more closely aligned with my style, which I think is why him and I have a good sound. I may end up sending this to him. You guys could actually tag him in the comment section or tag him on Instagram and other social medias, and we'll see if he wants to hop on it. I'll probably shoot him a text and see if he wants to hop on this as well. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first melody I used was a pad. If you want to see all the sounds and how I use them, some of them you might be able to guess and can hear, but if you don't know, you'll be able to see all of that in the Patreon post. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth, more exclusive content, kind of see the sounds and watch how I made this type of beat, then you can hit the Patreon and request that and ask for some more tips and tricks, and I'll kind of help you guys out as best as I can. So first sound is a pad that I threw in together. It sounds pretty good, just like a regular little melody type pad. I've used it quite a bit. If you guys didn't know, this is the same sound that I use for Citizens Kane for Fawny, and I've used it for a bunch of other songs as well. But also too, this was another sound that was used in Wish the Worst that Chinatown produced. That's another thing that I want to get to you guys. I want to get me and China back in the studio and get some collabs going for you guys. I think you guys would like that. See how Capsule Corp makes their sound, how we put them together. So we definitely need to get some more working with China soon. So that's the first sound, is just that little light pad, right? And we're going to go to the next one. I added a second pad just to kind of layer it, but it's a little bit different of a melody, different sound, so it's going to sound a little different. So one thing that I noticed is the key to making these Fawny type melodies is he typically picks beats that have like airy, ambient type of spacey, trippy sounds like I normally go for, but they also sound like, the best way I can explain them is loose. Like the melodies sound loose, so it's like not a complete melody. So you know how like a lot of, for example, Metro Boomin's beats, a lot of his beats are like really repetitive, really fast. It's only like three or four notes and it's over and over again, kind of like somebody sat there and went like this with the melody. I noticed with Fauни's beats, his beats are like airy and spaced out. So you'll hear dun dun and then a gap and then do 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 like something else. You know, like the melody will continue, but there like the gap in between the first part of the melody and like the last little bit of the melody, that little gap is also kind of part of the melody. That silence, that dead silence that you hear, creates the tension, or I guess the melody, for it to make sense. It's hard to explain. So like I typically what I'll do is like I'll make like a melody in like first couple bars, and then I'll just have the beat, what I call it floating. So I'll let the beat float for a second and just kind of like you'll feel the vibe, and then it's like the beat will catch back up to where it would have been. So it's kind of like I made a full melody, right? If you want to picture it like a full melody, like how you would, like how like a metro boomin is, like all the way across, but then I just took a chunk out of it out and just let that silence be part of the melody while it picked back up when the melody kicks in. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that well, but I noticed that a lot of his beats and the beats that he picks sound like that. They sound kind of to a degree like goofy and unorthodox. Kind of like when I used to skateboard, I used to skate goofy, so I would skate with my right foot forward. Some people skate regular with the left foot forward, but then some people skate mangu where they push with their front foot, and it's just kind of weird looking and kind of different to see, but it doesn't change the skating ability. There's like some differences, but that's kind of how I picture making my melodies. It's kind of like that mangu skater that could skate good, but he just did things a little bit unorthodox, and it contributed to his style. So I think that unorthodox style, or that unorthodox way of making melodies contributes to making his sound, and because of how his style of sound is and how he raps. So I don't know if that made sense. Hopefully you were able to follow that and catch that, but that's what I typically try to do. It's kind of an unconscious thing, but it happens. So the next one is an ARP. Usually I like to throw ARPs in there, like I've said before in the past. So it kind of just like, I guess, vibrates the song, you know, so it moves the song. It makes a simple melody sound way more complex than it actually is when the melody's stupid simple. ARPs are really good to kind of help fill out the song because it makes it sound fuller and more complex when it's very, you know, something simple. Because clearly this isn't a super complex melody, but it's going to sound a little different. So this is what we got for this one. Now the next one is another ARP that we got. This one's a little bit more of a lighter ARP, kind of just something to put in the background as like a filler type of sound. So here we go. This is what this one sounds like. So again, that weird ambient, trippy type of sound, kind of floating in space. Uh, the melody will play a little bit, pause for a second, to pick back up, that type of deal. So all of these melodies are doing that. So all of these melodies are like counteracting and not clashing, but clashing with each other. So one plays, and another one is silent, another one is silent, another one plays. You know what I'm saying? So it creates a lot of tension of back and forth. So you hear different sounds and different elements of the beat and the song, or different elements of the beat at different times. And then you've got your typical regular everyday stuff that you need in the beat, a clap. Just make, like I said in other videos, good quality sounds is what's going to help you out. Just a regular hi-hat pattern, nothing crazy. What helps you out with your hi-hats is kind of making variations, changing the step on them, changing the velocity, the keys, and everything like that, kind of make it sound a little different. Oops. So let's go. Next one is just your typical regular snare. Nothing crazy. Same deal with that. Different velocities, different octaves, things like that. And you got another snare. You got this little perk. This little Migos perk, I guess is what they call it. Same typical sound I throw in there for my little style. It's like my little sauce. And then you got just a regular spins 808, just a typical pattern. The 808 is very key to getting these Fauni type beats kind of down packed. If you notice, for example, on Wish the Worst, that 808 doesn't sound like your typical over and over again 808, like that repetitive style where it's like it's almost like you can visualize and see where the producer sat there and clicked in all the little notes and everything. It's not your typical style with how he does that. And typically I notice with Fauni 808s and his beats that he picks, I notice he likes a lot of variation. So he'll pick something that has the 808 pattern is the same all the way through for the full 8 bars, but the first 4 bars are the last 4 bars are different than one another. So it's like the same 808 pattern that you hear throughout the song, but the pattern isn't repetitive within itself. I notice he picks out things like that that's a little bit different because, again, his style is a little bit more unorthodox. I think that's what is the allure to his style and how he raps. So Fauni's one of my favorite rappers. He's one of my favorite artists to listen to. So I'm very familiar with kind of what style of beats he likes, and just from meeting him a couple of times and being in the studio with him, I can kind of tell what type of beats he goes for. But the key thing with the Fauni 808s is to have spaced out, airy 808. Same deal with your melody. So it's like you'll hear the 808 hit, and then there's enough gap in between the next 808 to where you can hear a lot of Fauni's bars, because he'll say a lot of low-key, slick, like something that make you be like, wait, run that back again? Oh, he said that? Okay, yeah, that was kind of hard. Like he'll throw like a subliminal type message in there, and so you will catch it the first time like a normal bar, then you re-listen to it, and it might be like you have that aha moment because it's like, oh, this is what he meant when he said that bar, but it sounded like this. He does that a lot. It's what do they call them? Like I can't remember, double something, double entendres or something like that. He's pretty good at that. I like that about Fauni style a whole lot. So usually I have the spaced out airy 808s, and then it's usually something hard and something that hits pretty hard and makes like a thump, like a nice little bang, because he likes those hard hitting 808s. So this is the pattern that I put down for this beat. You see how it sounds kind of spaced out, airy? It has like long pauses. Kind of like because you know how Fauni get in the videos and he always do this right here and shaking his dreads like that. Like he don't have them 808s that make you dance and vibe kind of like different, like you vibing to it, like you feeling it. He got, well, not like that, but he's got them 808s. He usually picks the 808s where it's kind of like them headbangers, like, okay, I wasn't expecting it to be like that. Like you can't really dance so much to it. You just gotta get hype and jug to it. He kind of picks those type of 808s and those type of patterns. It's really cool. I enjoy. He's one of my favorite artists, like I said, to listen to and watch in the studio. So now we're gonna put it all together and kind of let you guys hear what it all sounds like together. So we're gonna start from the intro.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
right, so that's the end of that beat. That's the end of that tutorial. Just a basic little Thouxanbanfauni tutorial. That's all the elements and everything that it takes to put it kind of together. If you go back and listen to some old stuff that I've produced for him and listen to his current stuff and just listen to my beats in general, you hear the vibe, you can hear the cadence and everything that I'm talking about and see how I put these beats together to make them for these artists. So this is, I think, is a really great example of Thouxanbanfauni type beat. I'm surprised I don't see more producers making Thouxanbanfauni type beats or any of these other rappers that are within that same genre and that same wave. I might have to be the one that starts doing that, to be honest with you, because that's the style that people are kind of making. Aside from like the mainstream style, like you got your little baby type beats and Gunna type beats, Young Thug, Chief Keef, that type of stuff. But as far as that underground sound, that underground wave that becomes the mainstream in the long run, I don't see a lot of people making those type of beats. So I got a little something up here for you. I think you guys will like this and appreciate it. So just leave some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, how you feel about it, if you hate it, if you love it, if you like it, dislike it. Either which way, just engage with the channel because that's going to help my algorithms. Yeah, if you guys want to see any more or have any more questions or anything like that, just let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section. You can follow me on all social media. Milan makes beats on everything that I have. So if I'm not on there, then you won't find me, obviously. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or not even Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter, things like that. Milan makes beats. Hit me up on Patreon, and yeah. So just give a like, a comment, follow, share, show somebody. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll continue from here. Thanks a lot.